welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab, and this is for week 9. So, hello. If you've already watched all my videos, please go ahead and skip to the first word, but if you are new, continue and stay and listen. So, hello everyone. My name is Miss Kimberly. The goal of our session is to have students understand each word in our vocabulary workbook and be cognizant of some phrases from the novel that may be difficult for us to understand. And I will be here as your guide to help you through it all. But first, what is today's agenda? What are we going to discuss in this video? First, we'll go over week 9 vocabulary. 2, go over extra example sentences. 3, we'll go over difficult phrases from our novel in the other video. And after both videos, you will have to review and self-study. But Miss Kimberly, why am I watching this? Why do I have to watch this? This is to help with your vocabulary acquisition, meaning you're going to keep putting in vocabulary words into our brain by learning the definition, synonym, antonym, and the part of speech of a word. This can significantly, which means greatly, improve your reading comprehension and understanding and enhance your contextual usage. Next, we're going to go over extra example sentences and not just the ones in our book, and this is to help with your writing variation. By looking at a variety of different example sentences with one specific vocabulary word, students can learn how to use a word in different sentence structures. So it's not always the same, the blah blah blah, the blah blah blah. We're going to try to use different types of sentence structures, okay? So without further ado, please go ahead and get your vocabulary book if you don't already have it in front of you, and turn with me to week 9, and we will be starting on page 74. Okay, 74, week 9. Is everyone there? Good. Number 1, our word is supply. Everyone say supply. The synonym is stock, and the part of speech is a noun. It means an amount of something that is available for use. So how much we have of something to use it. In our TED Talks, it says, there is a limited supply of these sneakers, meaning there isn't enough, okay? There's only some, there's a limited supply. There's not like endless amounts of these sneakers and shoes. We only have some of them. The supply is limited, okay? And let's read the example sentence together. Please, everyone, I need you to read with me out loud, okay? Come on. Ready, set, go. We have a big enough supply of toilet paper to last us the whole year. That's a lot of toilet paper to last 365 days, 52 weeks. That's a lot. Please also make sure that we are writing this example sentence here in this white rectangle here below. So, supply, again, meaning how much of something that we have that we can use. Let's look at our example sentences here. It says the school made sure to have a large supply of pencils for all the students. Just like sometimes when students at M.I don't have their own red pen or they forget, don't worry, we have a large supply. You can borrow one. Next one. It says the store's supply of ice cream ran out quickly on the hot summer day. Wow, it's the middle of September right now and it's still very hot. But here, it's saying because it's such a hot summer day, this mart or this store, their supply of ice cream completely ran out. They sold out of all their ice cream because everybody wanted one. Very good. Number 2. Everyone say demand. Demand. The part of speech is a noun, and the definition says the desire or need of customers for goods or services that they want to buy or use. What does this long definition mean? It just means how much a person wants something. The demand. So say that before my sentence before where they ran out of ice cream, there was a large demand for ice cream because it was such a hot summer day. Anywho, let's go back to the example sentences up top. In our TED Talks, it says, as more people keep fit, there is a greater demand for sports clothing. So as people are working out, they're becoming more active. The demand, the want of sports clothing for like running shorts or like running t-shirts, the demand for that is getting greater. Okay, let's look at the example. 1, 2, 3. Demand for the cake is so high that people wait in long lines to buy it. Wow, I'm sure you have also seen around Busan when we go to different places or maybe even to the mall, there's always a long line of people waiting for some sort of food, right? That means that the demand is very high. There's a desire. All these people want that thing. Let's look here. It says there was a high demand for concert tickets and they sold out quickly. Meaning everybody say that it's like I don't know, who's popular these days? IVE, BTS, TXT, who's popular? Say that they're having a concert and they have a high demand, meaning everybody wants to go to that concert. Everybody wants a ticket. It's a high demand. Next one, it says the demand for new video games always rises around the holidays, like Christmas, because people want to buy gifts for people. So a lot of people sometimes they'll make the video games come out during that holiday season, and that means everybody wants to buy it because they want to buy it for themselves or they want to buy it as a present for someone. Demand. Number 3, everyone say classic. Classic. The synonym is typical and the part of speech is an adjective. It means here having all the characteristics or qualities that is expected of someone or something. So we think that they're going to have it. It's very classic. In our TED Talks it says, a white t-shirt is a classic example of clothing that always seems to be in style. Long time ago, 100 years ago, they were wearing white t-shirts. 50 years ago, they were wearing white t-shirts. Right now, people still wear white t-shirts, and maybe in the future, people will still wear white t-shirts. It's just a classic. Let's read the example together. This is a classic example of the style that was often used in films back then. So as you can see in the picture above, that's what this sentence is talking about. This little scene here, that little style of clothing, that was classic, meaning that's what people would expect of from a movie from a long time ago. Let's look here. It says his car was a classic model from the 1960s, admired by many. So it's a classic model from the 1960s. Long time ago in the 1960s, they would make this type of car. And this man had that classic car, meaning that's what the design that we expect of it. Next one, it says the chef made a classic dish that was popular in the country for generations. For example, if you go to a pasta restaurant, a classic would be spaghetti. Now let's go to number 4. The word is dominant. Everyone say dominant. Here the synonym is predominant and the antonym is subordinate. It's an adjective and it means more important, strong, or noticeable than anything else in the same type. So the strongest, the more important. Let's look at the example sentence here. It says the dominant view among experts is that the business will be successful, meaning overall, a lot of the people, the strongest view or the strongest opinion is that this business will be successful. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. The dominant male will gain control of its territory after the fight. Meaning the stronger male bear will win, and then they will rule that territory. They'll have that territory for themselves. Let's look here. It says, his voice was so dominant in the room that everyone listened when he spoke. Meaning he didn't speak like this, all quiet and not confident, but his voice was very dominant, like this. So everybody listened to him. Next one, it says the lion is often seen as a dominant animal in the jungle, meaning the lion is often seen like the king of the jungle, right? We always say that, meaning the most dominant, the strongest. Now let's turn to page 75 and we're switching over to our novel words. And number 5 says affectionately. Everyone say affectionately. It's a long word. The synonym is lovingly and the antonym is cruelly. It's an adverb and it means in a way that displays fondness or tenderness, meaning just in a loving way, in a nice way. In our book, it says, "My dear James," said the old green grasshopper, laying a front leg affectionately on James's shoulder. So he has his leg on his shoulder, like, affectionate, in a loving way or in a way that's showing that you like him. Example, let's read together. She smiled affectionately at her pet cat as she stroked it lovingly. So she not only just looked at the cat with loving eyes, but she also stroked it and pet it very affectionately. And so here, it says the old man looked affectionately at his garden, proud of what he had grown. So maybe he has like a section for carrots and a section for potatoes and a section for peppers and a section for, I don't know, pumpkins. And it's so great. The garden looks so beautiful and he looks at it affectionately, meaning that he's very proud of it. Next one, it says, she patted the dog affectionately on its head, smiling as it wagged its tail. So again, just like the sentence above, we're here patting a dog affectionately. We're not like, we're doing, very nice. Number 6, everyone say pickled. Pickled. It's an adjective and it means preserved with salt water or vinegar. So as you know, a pickle really is a cucumber, but we put it in salt water or vinegar to make it into a pickle. If you didn't know, you learned something new. In our book it says, and pickled spines of porcupines, and then a gorgeous roast of dragon's flesh, well hung not fresh. This is when Centipede was talking about all the different things that he had eaten. So he had pickled spines of porcupines. That's weird. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. The pickled cucumbers will add a tangy flavor to the sandwich, meaning a bit sour. Pickled cucumbers, meaning just pickles. Let's look here. It says, she loved the pickled vegetables that her grandma made every summer. So every summer, her grandma would make some pickled vegetables. It could be a lot of different types. Or to make it more similar to you so that you can understand, let's look at the second example sentence. It says, in Korea, many people enjoy their pasta with pickled vegetables on the side. So yes, if you go to a pasta restaurant in Korea, they'll usually give you pickled pickles or pickled radish that you can eat with your pasta. We don't really have that in America when we eat pasta. Or not, we don't have it in America. Pickled. Number 7, everyone say perambulator. Perambulator. It's just a long word for stroller, as you can see up there. It's a noun and it means an old-fashioned word for a baby carriage. So a long time ago, a stroller, a baby carriage, they didn't call it that, but they called it a perambulator. So right now, we don't really call them a perambulator. We call it a stroller or a carriage. In the book it says, slowly, almost lazily, the shark opened his mouth, which was big enough to have swallowed a perambulator. It's just giving you a visual of how big the shark's mouth opened to fit a carriage in it. Let's read the example. The young mother strolled around the park with her baby in the perambulator. So we're just going on a walk with our baby in the baby carriage or perambulator. Here it says the perambulator had large wheels, making it easy to push on bumpy paths. The next one says, she placed her baby in the perambulator and went for a stroll down the quiet streets. So again, big word meaning baby carriage. Number 8, everyone say bait. It rhymes. Number 8, bait. The synonym is lure, and it is a noun. It means the food that is used to attract fish or other animals as prey. And in the book it says bait? What sort of bait? With a worm, of course. Seagulls love worms. Didn't you know that? So in this part of the book, James's idea was, remember, to wrap or hook the seagull's neck with the spiders and silkworm's string, and then they're using earthworm to lay on top of the peach as bait for the birds to come down, and then they were going to hook them with the string. Let's read the example. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes fishermen use plastic fish as bait to lure bigger fish. So here, as you can see in the picture above, they're using this plastic fish as bait, meaning fake food trying to get bigger fish to come. Let's look here. It says they used cheese as bait to trap the mouse in the kitchen. So say that you have a mouse in your house and you're trying to catch it, and you'll use some cheese as some bait, meaning the mouse will see the cheese and then it will come over and eat it. Next one, it says the fisherman put the worm on the hook as bait to catch a fish. Similar to the sentence above, however, here we're using a worm and not a plastic fish. Number 9, everyone say martyr. Martyr. The synonym is a sufferer, and it's a noun. It's a person who is killed because of his or her religious or other beliefs, meaning they're sacrificing themselves for whatever they think is correct. Here in the book it says, "You'll be a martyr," said the centipede. "I shall respect you for the rest of my life." Meaning again here, earthworm doesn't want to be the bait for all the seagulls to try to come and catch him. And here centipede is kind of rubbing it in and saying, hey, if you die, you'll be a martyr. I will respect you. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. Joan of Arc was a courageous martyr who remained devoted to her mission. So this woman here was a martyr. She sacrificed herself. Here, it says he was honored as a martyr after standing up against injustice, even though it cost him his life. Meaning here, cost him his life means he also, unfortunately, passed away, but he was honored as a martyr. Next one, it says the martyr's story inspired people around the world to fight for their rights. So, person who kind of sacrifices themselves for what they believe in, they were able to inspire others. Now let's go to page 76. Everyone say tether. Tether. The synonym is bind and the antonym is unfasten. It is a verb and it means to tie something, such as an animal, to something like a post or other fixed place with a rope or a chain. So as you can see in the picture above, this dog is tethered to some type of pole here. Let's read what the book says. It says, and the seagulls kept coming, and James caught them one after the other and tethered them to the peach stem. So here he has the spider's web and has it around their neck. But not only is he holding the other end of the string, he then ties it to the peach stem, which means they're tethered. So they're connected to the peach by the string. Example, let's read together. She tethered her dog outside and made sure that the leash was tied tightly. So again, when you go into like a store, you can't really take your dog into a grocery store. So some people have them tethered outside so that they cannot go in and they stay in place and don't run away. Here, it says they had to tether the boat to the dock to keep it from floating away. Kind of like the yacht parking lot over in Marine City. All those yachts have to be tethered to something so that the boats don't just go floating away. Next one, it says the horse was tethered to the fence while the farmer worked nearby. Again, the horse was connected by maybe a leash or a rope so that it wouldn't go away. 11, everyone say hurl. Hurl. The synonym is fling, and the antonym is to catch. It's a verb and it means to throw something with a lot of force, usually in an angry or violent way. So you're not just throwing something, but you're with all your strength, hurling it. In the book it says the sharks were hurling themselves at the peach more furiously, meaning they're going at it and they're going to the peach very quickly. Example, it says, in a fit of fury, he hurled everything from his desk to the floor. My, anger problems there. So in this picture above, this man was so angry, he hurled everything off his desk and onto the floor. Scary. Here, it says he angrily hurled the ball across the field after missing the goal. So because he missed it, he just threw the ball in an angry fit. Next one, it says she hurled her shoes to the side as soon as she got home after a long day. Kind of like me. So I don't just take off my shoes, I'll hurl them and go run to my bed and lay down. I'm just kidding, I don't hurl my shoes. Number 12, everyone say froth. Froth. The synonym is foam, and it's a noun. It means a mass, meaning amounts of soft bubbles, especially on the surface of a liquid. So if your mom or dad has ever bought, or if they've ever gotten a latte, they have some froth on top, just like the picture above, some bubbles from the milk. Let's look at what the book says. It says, but there were hundreds of sharks around us. They turned the water into a froth. I mean, they kept swimming around it, so it made a little bubbly up top. Example, let's read together. The top of the hot chocolate was covered in froth, making it look delicious. Yes, not only do lattes have froth on top, but hot chocolates also. Let's look here. It says, as the waves crashed against the shore, white froth bubbled on the surface of the water. So sometimes when you go to the beach, you may see some bubbles there. That's also called froth. Next, it says the soap created a thick froth as she washed her hands. So when we have soap in our hands and we just keep going like this and keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, we get some bubbles. That's also froth. Good. Number 13, everyone say funnel. Funnel. It is a noun and it means a metal chimney on a ship or a steam train through which smoke comes out. So if you look up here in this picture, this is our funnel, or little chimney type thing, and it has some smoke coming out. In our book it says none of them had ever seen a ship before. It looks like a big one. It's got 3 funnels. So imagine, this ship only has 1 funnel, but imagine having 3 funnels. That's a large ship. Let's read the example together. The ship's funnel expels exhaust as it glides over the ocean, meaning it just has a lot of smoke coming out because it's using it from the engine, right? Over here, it says the funnel on the old steamship was massive and could be seen from miles away. So, the funnel was huge and we could see it from far away. Next line, it says the ship's funnel released thick black smoke as it sailed through the sea. Not very good for our air pollution. And number 14, the last word for our novel, everyone say mammoth. Mammoth. The synonym is colossal and the antonym is minuscule, meaning very, very small. It's an adjective and it means extremely large. Mammoth is large. In the book it says, Captain! The first officer says sharply, Captain, please! And the mammoth spider. Here, in this part of the book, there's another ship, and the captain of that ship was telling everyone, oh, I see this giant peach with this mammoth spider, meaning this big spider, and everyone on the ship doesn't believe him. Example, let's read together. Many dinosaurs were mammoth creatures, so I admire them for their great sizes. So yes, dinosaurs were huge. Although there are some small ones, but there are also huge ones. Here, it says the Mammoth Baseball Stadium could hold over 100,000 people at once. So it had 100,000 seats. That's crazy. That's really big. I wonder how big the one here in Busan is. I don't know. Next one, it says they stood in awe of the Mammoth Mountain that rose high above the valley. So they're looking and then they're like, oh, wow, that mountain is huge. It's mammoth. Now let's switch gears and go into our textbook words. For number 15, the word is estimate. Everyone say estimate. The synonym is approximation, and it is a noun. It means a guess of what the size, value, amount, cost, or of something else might be. So we're just guessing something. In the book it says, but this is only an estimate from the U.S. government. So the U.S. government was just guessing. This is just the amount that they think. It's not exact. Example, let's read together. The plumber gave me an estimate on how much it may cost to fix the sink. So say that our sink was broken, and then the plumber here was like, I think this is how much it's going to be. And then he gives you like a big estimate of like $100,000. Here, it says his estimate of the crowd size was about 500 people. Again, we're not 100% sure of how many people exactly there are, but his estimate, his guess was about 500 people. Next one, it says the estimate for the delivery time was 2 to 3 days. So we're not quite sure when it's going to come. It could come in 2 days. It can come in 3 days, but maybe if it's really late, it can come in 4 days. Estimate, our guess. Number 16, everyone say category. Category. The synonym is classification, and the part of speech is a noun. It means a group of people or things that are similar in some way. So when we think of different categories. In our book, it says there are 4 basic categories of household waste. So 4 different sections. For us to better understand, let's look at this example sentence and read it together. Books are arranged by category, so you can find similar genres in each section. So here, maybe there's a category for nonfiction, a category for fiction, but then from our fiction, there's a category for realistic fiction, or historical fiction, or fantasy, who knows. Here, it says the teacher asked students to place the animals into the correct category. So here it could be like, oh, this is an alligator. Is it a reptile, a mammal, a fish, a bird? And you have to put it into the categories. Next one, it says they sorted the clothes into the category of shirts, pants, and jackets. So as they were cleaning, they're like, oh, this is a shirt, this is a pants, this is a jacket, and they would put it into different categories. Number 17, everyone say incinerator. Incinerator. The synonym is a furnace, and the part of speech is a noun. It means a device for burning waste materials. It just means a place where we put things to burn. In our book, it says other trash items are burned in incinerators. Yikes, that also causes a lot of air pollution. That's why we need to recycle. Next one, in our example, let's read together. Some recycling plants use incinerators to burn garbage to get rid of it. Yikes, that's not good for the earth. Let's look here. It says the city uses an incinerator to safely get rid of medical waste. So here, this type of thing, we may need to use an incinerator because it's medical waste and it's very dangerous to be just laying around, so they would have to burn it. Next one, it says, the large incinerator could burn tons of garbage in a single day. Burning. Number 18, everyone say toxic. Toxic. The synonym is lethal, and the antonym is non-toxic. It's an adjective, and it means containing poisonous substances, so it's not safe. It's dangerous. In our book, it says, all that litter puts toxic chemicals into the land, water, and air. Yes, that's what we call pollution, the toxic things. Example, let's read together. The toxic fumes coming from the factory could lead to health problems. Very good. Here it says, the scientists explained how certain gases can be toxic to breathe. So sometimes we will have to wear a mask so that we don't breathe in the toxic and dangerous gases. Usually at like a science lab or something. Next one, it says, some fish in the river had been affected by toxic pollutants from nearby factories. Oh no, so maybe the factory was, dumping some toxic waste into the ocean, or the river here, and those fish maybe died, or maybe they grew a third eye. And number 19, let's go to page 78. These are our speech words. The word is advertisement. Advertisement. The synonym is notice, and the part of speech is a noun. It means a picture, short film, song, or etc. that tries to persuade people to buy a product or service. So it's trying to convince you to buy something. Let's read the example together. The advertisement effectively informs the public and attracts customers. So it's saying like, oh, come and buy this thing. Let's look down here for something more specific. It says the advertisement in the newspaper showed a huge sale on shoes. So maybe the nearby department store is having a sale on shoes this weekend, and they inserted an advertisement saying, come this weekend, buy some shoes. Or it says, for the second one, they saw an advertisement for the concert on a poster in the subway. I see these advertisements all the time. Especially there are like flags on the road too, but there are also some posters in the subway. There are advertisements saying that some type of concert is happening soon. And our last word, number 20, is commercial. Everyone say commercial. The synonym is ad, which is short for advertisement, and it is a noun. Here, in our definition, it has the word from before. It says an advertisement that is broadcasted or shown on television or radio. So advertisements are things that you see in newspapers or maybe posters around, but commercials are on air, meaning it's on television or on the radio. Example, let's read together. While watching television, we saw a commercial advertising the new store. So here on TV, we saw it. Over here, it says, she remembered the commercial for the toy and asked her parents to buy it. It's like, oh, I remember seeing that toy on TV. I should ask my parents to buy it. Or the next one. Right now, there's many commercials for this new phone that's happening around. It says the commercial for the new phone made it seem like the best one ever. There's many commercials about the newest phone every year, right? Commercial. And we are done. For this mission this week, it is similar to last week. I want you to write 3 sentences using 3 different vocabulary words from this week. Please underline the word and make the sentences a bit long. Don't just say, I saw a commercial. Boo, that's too short. Make sure you stretch out your sentences to make them long, okay? Next one, now for review and self-study, you have to review all the words again, read it out loud, and then complete your vocabulary homework pages on page 79 and 80. And we're done with this week's vocabulary words. Thank you for joining me again this week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!